about enabling collaborations, partnerships, and services. And so just a little snapshot and plug here. I've put up some collaborators of mine, which I've been involved in for several years now with the NE Hub community. And what I also thought I'd quickly share is some other collaborators who I'm currently doing research with. And this is really to make a point. And one of the points I'd like to make is that I collaborate with a lot of people. And collaboration is necessary for various reasons, for myself, but others in the room, of why you might want to collaborate or why you should. So one question is, why so many collaborations? The need for myself is somewhat geographic. Oftentimes you'll see pictures of the globe, and my country, which is in New Zealand, is often actually missed. But here it is, down here in this bottom section. We're geographically remote. What that means is that we have to travel far to kind of get to meetings and tell people what we do and establish ourselves as researchers in the community. Again, we're kind of okay with that, but it's a necessity that we do this. A lot of my colleagues in New Zealand have also spent time abroad, and myself included. I was 15 years outside of the country researching, developing networks, and we bring those networks back to New Zealand when we do our research. So that's great. That gives us lots of opportunities. There's also other reasons why we might want to collaborate. And actually, Thor mentioned this yesterday. A jack of all trades is a master of none. And I find myself in this situation quite often. And actually, several years ago, I gave a talk and it was kind of titled around this. But for those of you who are not aware, the full quote continues: a jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one. And so I think that's important to note, particularly in the context of biomechanics. Why is that? Because if you look at some definitions of the term biomechanics, you'll quickly see, or bioengineering, you'll quickly see that this is a very broad discipline. We're dealing with very complex things. We're dealing with biology, which is complex. We're dealing with mechanics and the integration of the two. And so it becomes fairly obvious that not one person alone can solve these problems. So we need to collaborate because we need experts from various fields. And that's what also makes the field incredibly exciting, I think. So anyway, even though I feel also a little bit like a jack of all trades and a master of none, I think I can see connections and work quite well with people from all different disciplines to solve these complex biological problems. So in this session, we have two presenters. So Don Anderson, who's online from the University of Iowa, is going to give us a little bit of an idea about some of the challenges and opportunities of collaboration. And then we'll pass over to Ilse Jonkers, who's here in person from KU Leuven. We've also identified a few people to bring some remarks. Rami Kohonen Petritranska from University of Eastern Finland. We have Nico online. We've heard from him. We also have Jeff, who's in the audience here, again, bringing perspective about collaboration from industry, which is nice. And again, feel free to chime in at the end with lots of discussion. And a few things to be thinking about during these presentations. What are the ingredients for successful collaboration? What are some of the things that are necessary? What could this community do to help facilitate collaborations if that's something of necessary? And how can this ecosystem really benefit everyone in this room? And try and think about examples from other